Good morning, pardon me. Good morning, folks, and welcome. This, you could say, is by request from our friend over at Jay's Vintage Junk. He's been wanting me to have a look at this and do a video on it, so why not? What this is, I'll turn it back round. Just hang on, move that. What this is, most of you have probably guessed. This is actually a Hartley Electromotives Limited oscilloscope. It's a CT4436 and it's a Ministry of Defence one, MOD one. I imagine it's probably full of valves. I don't know yet, but probably. It's got a bail under here so you can prop it up, which would probably be better for the video. There we go. And it also comes with, oh yes, you got to have a bit of that. And how this thing comes apart, I don't know. It would be nice to have a look inside. There's two screws on the top here and a screw there. So let's start with those. We'll have a look inside this thing. Let's try and find a screwdriver that will fit. Oh, pardon me. See if we can have a look inside this bad boy. I should have another one of them screwdriver bits, but I don't know where it is. That's too thick, I think. That's too thick. I think that one there might do. Right. Let's have a look inside. See what we've got. I want to have a look inside. I can't power it up at the moment, I ain't got a lead for it. But I thought it's worth a look inside. And I would imagine, being ex-military, I need to have a look and see the number and see what branch of the services it was used in. It'd be interesting. But I would imagine this is pretty easy to take apart, because things in the military have to be easy to repair very quickly. That's why they buy things like Land Rovers and stuff. I would imagine that this cover either lifts or slides off. There we are. Right. There we go. And we're in like Flynn, as Dave Jones says. Right, what have we got here? Well, we've got a lot of valves. Look at that lot there. Let's see exactly what we have got. We've got an EL An EL84 by the look of that. Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, EL84 audio output in an oscilloscope. Yeah. Got some nice big meaty capacitors. Danger high voltage. Yeah. That's what we like, innit, folks? We like a bit of high voltage. We've got a cathode ray tube, obviously. You've got to have one of them. CV2. Yeah, these are all, what do you call it? These are all military spec valves. They've got the arrow pointing up on them. Except for that EL84, that hasn't, so that might have been replaced at some point. But all the other valves have got an arrow on them pointing up. All military valves, military spec valves. So we've got a nice row of valves across the top there. There's nothing really at the back there, there's just a transformer. On the back here we've got the power socket and stuff. Let's see if there's anything else in the front here that I can talk about. Yeah, we've got some valves down here, don't know what they are. This is just a quick look really at what we have actually got. It tells you all the valve numbers actually. It tells you all the valve numbers, all the resistor numbers, all the coil numbers, you know, transformer numbers, inductor numbers. So we've got, let's see, that CV, that EL84, that's actually been replaced because that's supposed to be a CV505494. Tells you where your test points are. I don't know a great deal about this, but it looks really well made. I'll say that for it. It does look really, really well made. We've even got valves. We've even got a valve down there, it looks like. Yeah, with a cap on it. Not a capacitor, that is. That's a valve cap. Got potentiometers. I mean, if this thing doesn't work, I'll be able to use the potentiometers out of it because they're all dual gang. These are all double potentiometers. Most of them, anyway. A lot of them. So you know, I'd get me fair amount of spares out of this if I was to do it that way. But the plan is to try and fire it up at some point and see what we can do. Let's give you a broadside. There we are. I'm not too worried about putting my hands around this thing. The reason why I say that is because it probably hasn't been plugged in ages, but it's all really well built there. There's a look at the side of it. Can't really get much from that, but let's turn it round, give you a look at the back. Let's lift it up on its bail. And there's the arse. There's the arse. Oh shit! There we go. There's the arse end of it, and there's your plug there, your bulging plug. Then you've got your what I presume is your voltage selector. I presume that's got to be set to 240, which it is. That's set to 240 and it'll work on any voltage. We'll get to that in a minute. We've got a 220 volt 1 amp 2 amp fuse there. And that's really it's all on the back. There's not really much else there, just a power socket and a fuse holder really, and a voltage selector. Let's get it off my hand because it weighs a bit, this thing. Now let's turn it round to the other side. Right, on the other side we've got this other socket here, and we've got a switch there that says mains. That must be some sort of power takeoff or something. And look at that big meaty transformer in there. Look at that. Big power transformer. None of the caps look like they've got anything coming out of them. Let's unscrew this and see what this actually is under here. I presume it's probably a bulging connector, another bulging connector or something. But it's this will be, yeah, it's a screw-in type connector. That'll be for some sort of auxiliary thing, some extra thing that they want to plug into it. That's what that would have been for, I would have thought. The components in this would have all been really top grade stuff. There wouldn't have been rubbish put in these. We've got a main switch here, which is not on and off. It's the on off is on the front there, because there's another one on the front here that says mains on. At the moment it's off. And then you've got your screen here, obviously, which is a bit, that actually comes off. So let's take that off and have a look behind it. Oh no, I won't bother. I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to pull it all apart, clean it anyway, but yeah, that's just so you put different things in there. It's dual channel this. You can actually you get a brightness and a focus on each channel, which is unusual. It doesn't say how many megahertz this thing goes up to. I need to try and look that up. But in all honesty, folks, this is actually in nice condition. It's got a serial number on the front end and manufactured. 1964 is when this was made. Says here manufactured 1964. So I was talking to Jay yesterday, and I hadn't looked at this point, and I said to Jay probably around about the 60s, and he thought maybe the 50s, around that region, you know, but yeah, that confirms it. 1964 it was made, so it's an old scope. And you got your high voltage plate here, another transformer or something that looks like one down there. Got all your capacitors, your big smoothers and stuff, and then we've got the bulging socket, which is a female bulging socket. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find out now which one of them's the earth, because I'm not going to jerry rig it. I still might, but this unit pulls out. This unit actually unscrews here and it pulls out because it's got a handle on it, so it must pull out. So therefore I'll be able to pull it out to work on it, to put a new socket on, maybe an IEC or something. Put an IEC in there so that I can connect it up. But I think, to be honest, that one there'll be the earth. because it's nearest the top. So let's put that on there. And no, I'm wrong. And I'm still wrong. Now I'm right. That one there's the earth. Let's switch the unit on and see if there's any resistance across the live and neutral. Tell me if there's any shorts in it. And we're actually reading 15 ohms. No short to the case anyway. No short to the earth pin. That's reading as a short, but it's actually reading 15 ohms. Let's push them in a bit there. I've got proper. So now if I turn this switch off, there we go. 14.6 ohms. Let's see what this switch here does. And that switches it off as well. Yeah, that switches it off as well. So it's got 2 on-off switches on it. So at least we know none of the fuses are blown, because if they were, we wouldn't get that reading on the meter. I need to pull the power supply out, which we'll have a look at doing now. And I would imagine you undo these 4 screws here. I think you can get them out with a fucking nut driver. It might be easier. Yeah. And they don't come all the way, they only come so far. It's probably so that the technician didn't lose them. And that's, yeah, they're captive then, they're designed to come out so far. So we can have a look at the power supply. And see about maybe changing that socket for something a bit more realistic. It's even designed so it can stand on its feet as well, on its bottom as well. Probably why it has to. Oh, that one come all the way out. That one came all the way out, folks. That one came all the way out. That one came all the way out, so we'll put that there with those. Try not to lose anything. Put the screwdriver there. Let's give this a pull. There we are. There we go. And there's our transformer. So why did that, oh there's a, what do you call it, they have a circlip on them, look. What's happened is the circlips actually come off. I want to put that back on because I don't want to lose it. There we are. Right. So let's just move the scope out of the way and we can have a look at the power supply. All it is really is just this fucking... All it is really is just this fucking dirty big transformer, and all that's in there is a big fucking hole. Not really much to see in there, folks, I'm afraid. But we'll move that to one side and we'll have a look at this big transformer we've got here, which is just basically, it's you could call it plug and play. We've got the bulging socket there, which is loose. That's got to come out, to be honest, because I've got to be able to put the wires to it are not very thick. That's why it's not pointing the right way. It's supposed to be pointing with the earth up, but that's not my experience of those. And you can put your fingers in this because it's only a transformer. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and undo it. I want to see. Let's turn the iron on. And what we can do and get the wires off it. And there's a, what do you call it, this is your voltage selector here. And I'll tell you the voltages it can use, to be honest. It can go from 100 volts all the way up to 250 volts. Which means it can be, actually, yeah 100 volts all the way up. And it's actually on 250 volts at the moment, so that's where we're at with that. So, you know, you can use it, I suppose it'd have to be done that way so it can be used all over the world, doesn't it? Right, let's do our, mind you, if we do our test again, we won't get anything, will we? Because there's nothing connected to it this time. But, do our test again, we won't get anything, I don't think. That's ground. No. So at least we know the transformer isn't shorted. Let's check this fuse in the back here. See what we've got for a fuse. We should have for 220 volts we should have a 2 amp. For 110 volts we should have 5 amp. .5 amp. So that's the military all over, isn't it? Covering their asses. No, in all honesty, I think our men and women in the military do a good job. Do a very good job of keeping our country secure and safe. I sleep well in my bed knowing that they're ready to take a bullet. You know, knowing that they're there doing their job, keeping us safe. I really do. I sleep safely at night knowing that. We all should. And, you know, definitely. Anyway, oh, there we go. How about that one? As they say. Yeah, another one for you Americans, another Donald. Yeah. Yeah, I remember a while back, folks. I had a bit of a mouse infestation in here, you know. Yeah, I did. It's a shame I couldn't find one of these, innit? One of these little sockets here, because that'd be perfect. That one of them clover leaf sockets. Shame I didn't have one of them knocking about, but I haven't. But I have got an IEC. But getting back to the story, I had a bit of a mouse infestation in here, so I put a mouse trap down, and I baited the mouse trap with peanut butter, and I caught an American. There we go. Yeah, I see them two fuckers are back together after all that shit, aren't they? At this point you're probably wondering who the fuck's them. Well, I'll tell you, the cheeks of my ass. Anyway, I'm just trying to generate a bit of humour while I wait for the iron, which we should be. Well, I can see it. Yeah, there we go. Because what I want to do, I want to take the wires off the plug, see how much we've got to play with, see where they go, and see what I can do with it, really. I mean, I hope this MOD solder melts. There's the earth off. And the good thing about the socket being loose, I say that, probably won't be able to turn it to the position I want it in. Yeah, I can. Let's get me little, where's my little thing? Right, and I would imagine that the red one would be some sort of live. But there again, on a transformer AC it doesn't really matter. That's the other wire off. Pull it out of the way. Where's my pliers? Yeah, I need to see how much wire I've got. I've got plenty of earth there to play with. We've also got one of them mustard capacitors as well. See, there's the red, and that one there's your black, and then you've got a black there as well. So to turn this round, maybe go the other way. There's the black. There we go. There your three main input wires there. Your earth, your black, and your earth, your black, and your red. So I'll join them, just twist them together for a minute. There we go. And they're what we're going to need for our IEC socket, if I can put one on. So next it's to try and get this fucking socket off. which is probably going to be easier said than done, because I ain't got a fucking spanner to fit that. I ain't got a spanner to fit that, and I can't grip it to get it off. Let me have a think. Let me have a think. I mean, I'd like to get the socket off in one piece. I really would, because I'd like to keep the socket with it. So I'm going to try. That won't fit at all. Because I'd like to keep the socket in one piece, I'm going to try and get it off. Now, now I'm going to have to hold that with one pliers and try and fucking turn it with the other. And that just fits on there. So oh, we're moving, folks. Not very fast, but we're fucking moving. Tell you what. Right, I've got it off. As you can see, I've got it off in one piece. Throw that in the drawer. There we go. Now I need to find a suitable socket to put on there now. We've got enough wire to bring it through to put a socket on. Certainly, look at that, more than enough. So I'm just wondering what I can actually use. I could use an IEC. I've got to drill a hole through here and a hole through here. It's going to be some fucking fun, isn't it? You know, boshing a hole through this, it's fucking 1/2 inch. Well, not far from it. 1/4 inch or something. It's a thick piece of fucking. I think it's only alley, but soon find out. Where's my fucking magnet? Where's my magnet? You know, when you want it, you can't find it, can you? Never mind. This is magnetic. Not powerful enough though. Don't know where my magnet is. Gee. Right. So what we need to do really is we need to connect these up. I've got an IEC socket, but I'll need to enlarge this hole, I think. I'll need to enlarge this hole, and to be perfectly honest with you, you know, I could plug that in now actually, because they're sticking out the back and I know which one's which. So don't you just love that kind of construction? you know, things were made like that. I'm going to have to use a screwdriver to put them fuckers back. Yeah. There we go. Right, let's slide our top back on, and the reason why I say that is because if one of these big capacitors decides to blow, these were out of the fucking way of it. Where did I put the fucking... Where did I put my fucking top? There it is. So basically this is all these panels here are designed to pull off. They're actually designed to come off. Well, they're not, but not from the outside anyway. One of them does open. This one here does open by removing them, but the rest of the panels, they're actually fitted in. I thought they pulled out, but they don't. Thought it was pull out modules, but nope, it ain't. So what we do is slide our front panel back in. Get this so it's right, there we go. There we go, that's right. And that's right, that looks a bit off there, but it's not. Looks a bit off, but it's not. Right, so what we'll do next, we'll just pop. Let's find out which is our live and neutral on our cable. Which is easy to do. Live is the fuse. This is brute force and ignorance, this, folks. Don't try this at home. Remember, I'm like UWX Bill. UWX Bill, I'm like him. I'm a professional bad example. Yep, that's live, neutral, and make sure this thing's actually got an earth on it. Can you believe that? Oh. Yeah, it does have an earth. I was going to say it did have an earth. Right. Well, what we can do here, if the fucking lead's long enough, which it should be, just about. Let's just make sure that we're, just double check Double check our fucking I dropped a pair of pliers or something down there. Double check our fucking live. Not that it makes any difference, but I'd like things to be right if they can be. So that's so we want to be live on the fuse. That's neutral. So the one above it is live. So the one above it is the live one. Neutral. Live. Let's get an extra piece of wire here. To just extend the ground. And yes, I am using a piece of red wire, but don't worry folks, I won't get them mixed up. Just that the earth isn't as long as the other two. I don't know what's going to happen when I plug this thing in. But you know what they say. You know what they say, folks. Let's lift it up on its bail. Then you can see what I see. So we'll turn it on. Not a lot happening. Just check that fuse didn't pop in the plug. There's not a lot happening. I thought something would have happened by now. But no, we are on. We've got nothing there. So let's just check. See if our fuse blew. See, this is a what do you call it? This is a 13. This is only a 3 amp fuse. There we go. Can't see why it would kill a 3 amp fuse, but it could. But it hasn't. It hasn't. Oh, we've got something there now. So I wonder if one of the wires was a bit loose and weren't making a very good connection. Let's try that. Well, we're getting a connection now. Oh, we have a light. We're getting now on the screen. Not much happening there, is there, folks? Not much happening. But there again, these are shift and gain and stuff, so yeah, we're grounded. That's stiff. Let's turn it off for a second. What's this here? Graticule. Let's turn that up. Oh, there. We had summer. Well, that just lights that up. We've got summer on the screen. Yeah, that just lights up that. Focus. Focus doesn't seem to do much. Got a dot in the middle. That's focus. Brightness doesn't seem to fucking do much. There we are, we're a bit more now. I think it needs a good clean. It's doing something. What about the other channel? It works to some degree. What's this? Y2. Supposed to be two traces on there, isn't there? Right, so we're on Y2. Let's go to Y1. Well, that's making an adjustment there. That doesn't seem to do much. That one does. That knob is so stiff. That's the shift gain. The inside must be the gain, the inside must be the shift, the outside must be the gain. So what we'll do, that must be the trigger level. Right, the outside one moves it up and down, so there's the other beam there. I think, no it's not. That's gain. That's focus. Right. Set this one the same as that one. Right, I want to find out why I've only got one trace when there should be two. Yes. Right, so this one channel ain't working. Well, this is one. This is the one that seems to be doing everything. Very bad, not very. So it seems to be two that's not doing much. That just turns the light up. So you can see that. You see that on camera? Not very well. Right. So we've got what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to put a signal source into it. Let's turn this on. We'll give it a signal source in a minute. Let's get my scope lead off this other scope up here. Just doing something. Right, let's go ahead and put something into it. Put that on there. Whoa, let's bring this down. Right. So we're on 2 volts, so we want to be on 2 volts. Set them both because I don't know which fucking trace I'm looking at. Not doing much. Try it on the other channel. No. Nothing. No, nothing. just check the switch on the probe. Oh, there we are. Set that to that. We're doing something. We're on a sine wave, so it should give us something. Now. Right. Right. I don't think that channel 2's, that wouldn't make any difference anyway. It's channel 1 I'm playing with. Right, what have we got there now? I thought we would have got something, but we're not getting much. That's just I think that's just a trigger level. Gain. That shifts it. That's your time base. Let's turn this up a bit more. Let's turn it up to 6. Let's try the other channel. that adjusts the level. So that adjusts that one. So that moves it up and down. So obviously channel 2 isn't working. Well, channel 2 doesn't work. Channel 1 fires up but doesn't do anything. And that control there is very stiff. It's working though. Why has my line just suddenly disappeared when I turned it? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not doing much of anything, to be honest, folks. Oh, hang on. Oh, we got something there. Is that on our... There? Oh, that doesn't do that, it's channel 2. There we are. It triggers. That's gain. That's shift. That's brightness. Focus doesn't seem to do much. Now. Right. Let's turn that there. Right. Focus doesn't really work. Let's see now. Well, that's the brightness. Well, that's a bit thinner. Let's try. try coming back to here. Weird. We've got a, what do you call it now? We're getting there, we've got a sine wave. As you can see. I mean, you can't really see it that well because of the fucking sun shining on it, but we have got one. There's a light shining on it. But alright. That's just your trigger level, I think. So one channel sort of works and one channel doesn't. So that's on channel 2. So that's channel 1. So let's try channel 2. Oh. Not doing that on channel 2. But we just don't seem to get. That's brightness. But we just don't seem to get anything on channel 2. So when that's off, it's on auto. And that's fine. Right. We're getting something on it, but not. We're not getting a nice focus beam. That's gain. That's shift. That's auto. Auto stability, I think that is. Well, that's where we're up to with that, I think. Right. So we're not really getting. Not really much, is it? It's not. So there's nothing else I can play with. I mean, we've got everything on here. It is producing a wave. If I unplug that, yeah. We are getting a trace on the screen, but it's out of focus. And I can't bring it in no matter what I do. There we are. And that's. Because the. It is producing a trace, and if I adjust this, yeah, so it is producing a trace, but not a very good one. That auto control works, that's for auto stability. That's the level. That works. That's your fine time-based adjustment. That works. That works. Yeah, you see they're getting closer together. That works. That works. All these seem to do something, they all seem to work. That works. As does that, the gain, that does. Brightness sort of works. Focus doesn't. And channel 2 is completely dead. Right. So that obviously does something. That obviously works. We get a nice thin beam at the top. So let me, but where we want it we don't. And we don't get now at the bottom here, it seems to disappear. That works. Right. So my conclusion on it, folks, some of it works, some of it doesn't. And all the controls do something. Channel 2's dead. Channel 2's dead, so we need to look into that. And you know, that's about it. There's not really much else I can do or want to do at this point. I mean, you know, do I really want to go to the trouble of recapping it? I don't know. I'll think on it, because I'll tell you what though, it's not. Oh, it's red hot on the top now. It's been, now it's all warmed up. So it could be bad valves, it could be bad caps, it could be bad resistors. But there is one thing for fucking certain. I ain't putting my fucking fingers in that now. But at least we learnt one thing. At least it didn't go bang. Let's put the cover screws back in. Put the cover back on. There we go. Am I lined up there? The fucking holes. I hate this when you have to stand up. No, I fucking slid the cover too far fucking forward. Right. There we are. Let's get our screwdriver so we can put screws back in. Right, this is mainly for Jay over at Jay's Vintage Junk. He's been dying to see this thing. So you know, it's if I don't end up doing this, if I don't end up doing anything with it, then I'll just trade it with Jay for something. You know, it's so there's a couple of options open to me on this one. I either do it or trade it, but I know a lot of you would probably like to see me do it, so that's probably what I'll end up doing, but we'll see. I mean, I'll be honest, when it comes to testing instruments and stuff, you know, I'm a bit out of my comfort zone. I only use them. You know, I use them, but don't repair them as such. So there we go. But that's there's disconnect that. There we go. Right, well that's it on the MOD oscilloscope, folks. Thank you very much for watching. More to come later. I'm sorry if this video dragged out a bit with me fucking about, but you know, I had to go through everything and be thorough. So thanks for watching, and more to come later. Bye for now.